Marcellus Wallace look like?
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Does he look like a bitch?
No!
Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett?
He did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett?
Yes.
Oh, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Yeah, say what one more goddamn time. That's right, Brent. We love Samuel Jackson, and that is probably my favorite movie ever. And we included it, although I forgot how rough the beginning was. I haven't listened to that in a while. Yeah, we're going to talk about angels. And that was a Samuel L. Jackson quoting Ezekiel, which has some very interesting things to say about angels. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into all that in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Kristen, you're still working on getting some of those pages up.
I am.
That computer, the hamster wheel is just flying. And good evening, Catherine, and everybody out there is watching. This is the Dark Horse Paranormal Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Carr.
And I'm Kristen Johnson.
And we are glad to be here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you celebrate that and you got a little Irish in you, everybody's Irish on St. Patty's, right?
Yeah, they are.
They are. But there's some bad stuff about St. Patrick's too, right?
There is.
About the snakes, sort of like a metaphor for pagans, and because there are no snakes in Ireland. You know, you guys probably know this, but hasn't been snakes in Ireland, and there weren't snakes in Ireland, so it wasn't snakes he was driving out.
I'm freaking moving there. I don't like snakes.
And so it wasn't snakes, it was pagans. And kind of like we feel for the pagan people, so we're a bit pagan ourselves. So I don't know what to think about that. I mean, it's basically like a drinking holiday kind of thing, right? Kind of like Fat Tuesday. One of those deals, you know, get your green beer, bring your own green beer, BYOGB.
All right.
Whatever green substances you might be coming across that you want to share. and watch the Dark Horse Paranormal podcast, they're more than welcome. Hello, Joanne. And hey, Courtney. What's going on?
Hi, Courtney.
Glad to see you
Hi, Joe.
guys. I think Ireland. I think about U2 a lot. Is U2 still a thing? Like, they were so big at one time. U2, Bono with his glorious mullet. It was awesome. U2 were like huge. I remember going to see U2 in like the 80s. I'm gonna date myself here. And I'd only gone to like metal shows. You know, I've seen Iron Maiden and Dio and Ozzy and Black Sabbath and bands like that. And they never served alcohol at these shows. And everybody kind of wore the same uniform, if you will, right? You had the black t-shirt. A little like some ghost hunting shows, right? So they said like,
Yeah.
you know, band names on them and in jeans. And, you know, there was no alcohol allowed in the facility and all that stuff. And I go to see U2 because I like them as well. And everybody's like dressed differently. They all got like nice button-down shirts, and you know, the women are dressed really, really nice, and everybody seems very conservative. And they're serving beer and wine and stuff like that in the local, you know, stadium type place. And as soon as Bono hit the stage with that mullet, and they had the fly glasses going, everybody went apeshit. Like, it was just crazy. Women were ripping their clothes off, and guys were crying. They were like, there was a guy crying next to me, just bawling. Like, oh, Bono. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was crazy, but it was a really good show, and they were total rock stars. They were awesome. But people don't talk about them that much anymore. And I don't know. Kind of been on the down, I guess. I see Kaz Clark out there and Joshua Dixon.
Hi, Kaz.
Amber
Hi,
Young.
Hello,
Hey,
Miss
folks.
Anne-Marie.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you. Happy St. Patty's. Where's me go?
Yeah, this is me today because I just bear with me. I've got a little
You want to talk about what happened, Kristen?
no. All I'm gonna say is I have a little food poisoning, and that's all I'm going with.
Well,
And don't.
can I give a
Don't.
couple of hints? Just a hint about like how this might have come about. Like,
Don't.
we might have been getting our patties on a little bit last night, you know, and Kristen's here like half the week, and you know, she knows my fridge, but she doesn't know it as well as I do.
I got hungry.
We were hungry, you know, getting ready to go to bed and kind of starving, as they say out here in New England, starving. And we made some mashed potatoes that may or may not have been like
They weren't good, okay?
really, really old. You know, like the kind that you get and you keep in your refrigerator, and I kind of already cooked for you.
Yeah.
You just got to microwave them.
Bob Evans or something like
Bob
that.
Evans, yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that.
F
yeah.
you, Bob Evans.
Well, F you for having them in there for about 7 months.
I don't know why I didn't throw them out.
God
I hope
damn
they were
it.
that old, but they're a little old.
I had a really bad day.
They've been in there. Yeah.
So we're just going to go with that.
Yeah. I'm not feeling that great. I'm kind of recovered. It hit me a little bit, but not too bad. I don't know.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Poisoning. is
With like
awful.
some kind of soup over it or something.
Oh,
Like 2:00 in the morning.
you want me to get up? Please don't. Thank you, Courtney.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, fantastic. So so that's where we're at with that. But we
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this angel thing. You know, what do you guys think angels look like? I mean, we see all these different depictions. I'm sure you're probably familiar with like Ezekiel's wheel, you know, from watching Ancient Aliens and shows like that. And there's some very interesting things in the Bible about the way they describe these orders of angels. You know, according to oh my God, I just drew a mad
Tobit.
Dionysus, the Areopagite. Areopagite. That's what it is. Areopagite. So there were 9 orders. See, I knew I'd screw that up, right?
Yeah.
I was even
Just
saying it
don't
before
stay
the show. I was
outside,
like,
yeah.
you're gonna screw this word up. And of course, as soon as I go to think of blank, deer in headlights, gone. It said there were 9 orders of these angels, which represented dominions, cherubim, seraphim, principalities, thrones, archangels, virtues, powers. Like, what is all this stuff, right? Some of
Virtues,
them
I
seem
think
to be human-like, and some not so human-like. We're calling this Angel Week because we have Susan Walters is coming on our show on Saturday for Bigfoot and the Bunny. And she paints angels and does readings and stuff. And she's a very interesting woman. That's going to be a good show. But getting back to like Ezekiel's wheel, let me see here. I'll read a little bit from Ezekiel 10, if you will. The sound of the wings of the cherubim could be heard as far away as the outer court, like the voice of God Almighty when he speaks. When the Lord commanded the man in linen, take fire from among the wheels, from among the cherubim. The men went in and stood beside a wheel. Then one of the cherubim reached out his hand into the fire that was among them, and he took some of it and put it in his hands put it in the hands of the man in linen, who took it and went out. Under the wings of the cherubim could be seen what looked like hands of a man. I looked and I saw beside the cherubim 4 wheels, one wheel besides each of the cherubim. The wheels sparkled like chrysolite. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. It looks like almost like jade, but prettier. It's like a crystal.
It's green, light green. It's very pretty.
As for their appearance, 4 of them looked alike, each with a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the cherubim faced. The wheels did not turn about as the cherubim went. The cherubim went in whatever direction the head faced without turning as they went. Their entire bodies, including their backs, their hands, their wings, were completely full of eyes, as were their 4 wheels. I heard the wheels being called the whirling wheels. Each of the cherubim had 4 faces. One face was that of a cherub, the second, the face of a man, the third, the face of a lion, the fourth, the face of an eagle. Then the cherubim rose forward. They were the living creatures I had seen by the Kabar River. When the cherubim moved, the wheels beside them moved. And when the cherubim spread their wings to rise from the ground, the wheels did not leave their side. When the cherubim stood still, they also stood still. And when the cherubim rose, they rose with them, because the spirit of the living creatures was within them. Okay, so what does that kind of mean? If you go a little further into it, it mentions that they each have 4 faces and 4 wings. They were quite winged creatures. They don't sound like the beautiful winged creatures that you're used to seeing, these like, gorgeous people with wings coming in going, hey, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
All right. They sound a little bit different. There's some artistic renditions out there, and I would like to share
There's
some
a
with
few
you.
from the Bible itself, the book of Ezekiel.
Yes.
But they're messed up. And these were the angels, like, only mentioned for years, right?
Right.
They didn't become beautiful winged people or creatures, or they weren't like that for I don't know what the book was. I forgot.
I mean, that's one artistic rendition there.
Yeah, they have 4. Is that the one 4 heads? Yeah.
I think that might be actually the seraphim. There's 6 wings.
That's
It's hard
6
to
wings.
tell.
Yeah,
We're kind of getting into that. And they have
cherubim.
even more wings, but you can see the eyes, on there, and that's pretty interesting. And like, how creepy is that? And you see like bull type hoofs coming out the bottom.
They have 4 faces. They have a regular human's face. They have an ox face. Is it a lion's face? And a eagle's face.
Eagle.
They have 4
Eagle.
faces.
Let me share another picture. Unfortunately, this isn't terribly easy to do.
It's really creepy. We believe in angels as well, though.
We do. I do. And
Because Josh
Wanna
Dixon, we were going to explain that.
I want to explain sort of what our take might be on that. Okay, here's another one. This one's pretty trippy. All right. And you can see the wheel, and you see the eyes and the wings. I mean, who really knows, right? I mean, are they being literal? Are they being symbolic? Is it eyes of God on everything, which really speaks to consciousness itself?
Right. That's where we're going with this.
Barbara says she's not familiar with Ezekiel's wheel. Okay, well, yeah, I just read a little bit from that. Yeah, not baby-faced and chubby. Exactly. And I started reading this book, and part of drive behind wanting to do the show was I've only read a little bit of it, and it's already quite enlightening. And this is called The Physics of Angels, and it's by Rupert Sheldrake and Matthew Fox. And Rupert is a biologist, scientist, anti-materialist science, meaning he doesn't always go with the standard norm, of science, and pushes things, and he does a lot of consciousness studies. Matthew Fox is a open-minded theologian. So it's an interesting book where they go back and forth, and they talk about things like panpsychism, which is something we talk about on the show a lot. And that's like, the idea that consciousness can pervade all sorts of matter, that things like trees are actually conscious. And we've talked a lot about how the trees can recognize their offspring. They can use the mycelium, which is the mushroom base that lives under the, lawns and stuff, to send signals and nutrients to other trees or block off certain trees through their roots. Plants are definitely aware of people.
Yes, they are.
And which is interesting, right? And everybody's heard the thing of like, play classical music or talk nicely to your plants and it'll grow better. And
It's true.
And it's true, and they do. And if you're mean to the plants or yell at them, they don't do as well. They don't have ears, but they're aware of your intentions on some level, right? Which is it's kind of mysterious, and it's things we don't think about all the time. So they're definitely conscious. They know what's going on. Not that they are like a human, like you or I, and they're like, "Hi, Chris, thank you for walking by me." "Oh, where's Kristen today?" They're not doing that.
She's throwing up.
Oh, yeah, she ate some bad potatoes. And yeah, no, they don't do that, but they have some kind of conscious reality, kind of like the cats. And if you have pets, we have a couple of pets, cats. We both have cats, including this guy, who is definitely conscious.
Yeah.
Now that cat there, his name is King, and my daughter painted this for me because King thinks he's human. And I had a little psychic impression from King once, and I told her about it, and she painted that. He put his paw on my arm, and I just had this like crazy instant flash in my head of him like hanging out in his bedroom and opening his little dresser and getting ready for bed. And he was all dressed up, and as you can see, she took that to heart. And yeah, there he is. He's a real boy.
But you got to think about that.
But he's definitely conscious, right? I mean, he lives his cat life. He sleeps and has cat dreams, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a real thing. We think that this idea of panpsychism, which is that matter, any kind of matter, can really hold a consciousness, is kind of a good explanation for things like haunted objects and that sort of thing. But then we start to talk about things like angels and demons and these kind of paranormal subjects, and you say, well, they have these kind of superpowers, if you will. They seem to have a greater consciousness, right? Something beyond what the human experiences. And I would think humans have a tendency to think like this is the be all end all of what consciousness can be, but there's definitely, the ability to have something greater than our own, to see more, to have more abilities. I believe that. And I kind of think that's where angels fall into play, or even demons, like the truly demonic things that happen out there. These are beings that are just kind of bigger than humans. They can do more. They have more abilities just inherent in them. And there's so many things we don't really understand in science, like dark matter and dark energy. It makes up something like 96% of the universe is what scientists think today. But yet we have no clue what it is, So if that's true, like, could consciousness be part of that or slip into portions of it? We just don't perceive it. Our senses are somewhat limited, having, generally the 5 physical senses. If you look at your spouse, your lover, and you don't really see like this bag of blood with organs and arteries and things and gizzards and stuff, right? You see this kind of beauty because that's what our brains put together, right? I don't look at Kristen like she's a a bag of bones, you know. Right? It is, I think everybody kind of experiences that, but when you think about it logically, there's obviously more there. So you can't necessarily trust everything you see. So we don't see dark matter. Matter that flows right through us physically, goes through the earth. You don't know what it is. They can just kind of measure it in some ways, you know. So I think there's a a lot left to learn about beings that historically through the ages have been called
we don't know
angels.
what it is, and I love when Neil deGrasse Tyson says we should just call it Steve, because we don't know what dark matter is.
We
We'll just call
really
it
don't have a
Steve.
clue. We don't have a clue, but we know it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and we know like they have storms, and it'll go right through the planet, right through people. You never notice it. You never see it.
I did not know this. Please put this on the screen. Complete Joshua Dixon.
Is it this one?
Completely
Completely
agree today. Yep.
Yes. Saint Day of Cats.
Well, I gotta go home.
There you go. Happy cats, you know.
Gotta go.
Happy Cats Day. You might as well have
kitties.
that. Everybody, really. Wow. All right, you stuck me there. Christopher. That
Playing with the cat.
stop playing with the cat. Put the cat picture down. But we, anyways, want to get into that panpsychism thing. This idea that consciousness can be other things. What do you guys think when you think of angels? We do tend to think of the stereotypical angels. I learned from reading that book that, for instance, when material science became very popular in the Baroque period, that's when we started to see angels changing in art. Like in medieval days, they were always like these beautiful paintings and people and that kind of thing. And then when we moved along and science kind of replaced a lot of where God or spiritualism in general took place, there wasn't enough room for angels, and they became these cute faced, the cherubs, not the cherubim, but the cherubs that you see, the little babies with the wings and they're cute, that kind of thing. That's where that actually came from. So that's fascinating. So what do you guys think? What is on your minds as far as angels? And a lot of people say they see angels. In fact, I forget what the percentage is, but it's quite high. People have some kind of experience they relate to having with angels. Kaz says, Hebrews 7:3, without father, without mother, without descent, having neither a beginning of days nor end of life. So angels don't have a mother or father nor a genealogy, but made unto the Son of God, that are made in a laboratory. Hebrew 7:16 says, who is made not after the law of carnal commandment. Wow, carnal commandment. Kind of think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Not made through the nature's rules of sexual reproduction, but after the power of endless life, but rather they made after the power of genetic engineering. And endless life equals immortality. Oh, that is fascinating.
Wow.
I was not familiar with that quote. So thank you, Kaz.
Kaz.
Like that. Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life. Wow. Very good. Ken Allen says, hey buddy. How you doing, Ken?
Allen.
When materials, I will see you guys in Rhode Island soon. I'll be up there for May 30th. Oh, June 3rd. Yay. I'm doing an investigation, a very well-known place. I'll let you guys know privately. Love you guys. We love you too. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Love you too, Ken.
Awesome. Look forward to it. Barbara says the beautifully human-like angels with wings are more comfortable to visualize. Well,
yes.
Yeah, they are. They are definitely more comfortable. I think it's the seraphim that in the biblical times or writings in the Old Testament, or no, it must be New Testament, right? Because there are no angels with wings in the Old Testament. Have 6 wings. And it's a curious thing. I find it curious that winged creatures, hybrid-like creatures,
yes,
have always been kind of a thing through history. I'm going to share a few more pictures. Let's see here. Things we like. I'll show you real quick. This is the chrysolite that I mentioned before. Look at Ezekiel. That's what that looks like. Kind of like emerald. You know, it's pretty. Get up here. Screen. Oh, okay. Let's go to this one. This is Assyrian.
So this is 4,000, 6,000. So it'd be 4,000 years before.
Right. This
They
is
have 4 wings.
way predates the Bible. And there you go. You see there are definitely 2 sets of wings
Mhm.
on this creature. It has an eagle-like head. I don't know if it's a hawk or what particular bird, but you get the idea. Got the little tote bag that Graham Hancock likes to talk about so much.
This is a stash bag. That's what they think.
Stash
they are.
bag.
I think it's a
Right.
bucket, but
Supposedly filled with hallucinogens to have this experience. Well, that is definitely a possibility. I don't know. It's probably how spiritual connections were made in the past. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
nope, not at all.
But very interesting figure. You notice his legs are even interesting there. It almost looks robotic or like a Terminator.
Yeah, we can't figure that out.
4 wings.
The bottom, like his calf, and it's always
Mm.
drawn like that. It's
we,
carved.
We saw this in other art styles as well when we were looking this stuff up. And yeah, it's definitely fascinating. Take that out of there. So, I mean, is that an angel? Is that where angels, the idea of angels came from these old stories?
Right, passed down, and they took them and just kept going with it from ages and ages, millennium, whatever.
Okay, Barbara says, I've always thought they appeared to humans. They took a form that would not scare us to death. And this is a very good point because in the Bible, whenever the angels appear, they always say things like, fear not, have no fear, don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Like their whole sentence is prefaced with that. And it's like they have to tell people not to be afraid of them, maybe because their appearance is so shocking. You know, I mean, they're looking at an intelligent life form that's apparently supernatural, right? Maybe looks like wheels with eyeballs. So no, that's a very good point.
Well, how about the virtues? The virtues are the ones that got me. The virtues are the ones who they don't have a body, you can't see them. They have no physical body. They have control of the elements. They are referred to the I don't know, the shiny ones. They're referred as the shiny ones.
The shiny ones, that's right. That's right.
And they appear as sparks of light.
Yes.
The other angels would tell them to perform miracles to the deserving ones. So I find that one a little fascinating because sometimes people say, like Joshua Dixon right now is saying something, he swears he saw something hovering above him in a car accident when he.
I'll bring it up on the screen in a second. But to the virtues, shaped like sparks of light, virtues are in charge of maintaining the natural world. They inspire living things in areas such as science, or so says Google. They take orders from angels above them and convert them into miracles for the deserving, which is the deserving can sometimes be a little bit of a disturbing point biblically because it's, if you're not following the rules, you're out of it. And I don't always love that, but let me find out. Okay. Joshua says, I've never seen an angel, but I felt their presence many times after my last car accident where I was almost killed. I thought I saw one hovering over me with my brother who had just passed. I was in and out of consciousness and I kept hearing, wake up. Interesting. That's super interesting, especially the wake up part. It's almost like a clairaudient type experience. So somebody telling you, though, if there was probably a recorder in the room, it wouldn't capture it, but you heard it clear as day. Wake up, wake up. And that could have very well been an angel, Joshua. No question on that. That's definitely a possibility, especially that it was there with your brother.
Yes.
So
very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, car accidents can be scary. Absolutely. I've had a couple bad experiences too, but that's very interesting. Let's see. Ken says, from my understanding, most of the time they say, fear you not or be ye not afraid, because they're fixing to do something horrendous. You mean like kill thousands of people or or just heal the blind or something like that? And you look at the book of Tobit, which I think has been removed from Bible canonizations now, but that one features Raphael, and in it he is disguised as a mere mortal, a stranger who goes on a journey with Tobit's son, eventually healing Tobit's blindness with fish guts. Yeah. Kind of interesting story about Raphael, but he appears just like a normal human, goes on this journey with his son and gets him married, and there's a whole thing there, and eventually banishes Asmodeus, supposedly using this fish that tried to eat Tobit's son, the guts of it. It's a very magical practice, Ken, actually. The way that it's laid out, it's clearly, like it's very occult. There you go. He's a normal human, no wings, no nothing, and doesn't reveal himself to the end to be Raphael. Barbara says, in the book of Enoch, angels were placed as godlike rulers over the continents. The powers made them corrupt. That's right. Book Enoch also, I think, actually, came from like Dead Sea Scrolls. I forget, or if it was just removed and canonized.
Yeah.
And no, Enoch is good, and Raphael is in that as well. All the archangels are in that, and they do banish demons. Joshua says maybe angels are a state of consciousness. Well, that's kind of where I'm going with things. We think that these are like a bigger consciousness than our own. So we're kind of asking the audience like to think about like what that would be like. What does that mean? A bigger consciousness, like having more senses, having superhuman like abilities, being a creature that is just has a whole lot more potential than a human, and perhaps is responsible for the way civilizations have shaped themselves through time, in positive ways and perhaps negative ways, and the way what is thought of as a demon. I mean, it's not beyond me to say that these things are potentially one and the same. I mean, even in the Bible, they talk about the fallen angels, but they're the same creatures, right? And you got to think about that, right? It's just, where does demons come from? Yeah, let me just bat my microphone around. What is it? A lot of people compare this to alien abduction phenomena.
Yes.
And we've had great conversations with like Nathaniel Gillis about what these demons might be and where they might be. This kind of larger consciousness alien thing, or something that appears like an alien to us, but has been with us all along. Ken says, according to the Quran, angels are made of light, man is made of clay, the jinn are made of smokeless fire. That's right, the smokeless fire with the jinn. Yeah, interesting, right? We're talking about elements here. Really, at the end of the day.
Virtues, still.
Okay, Ken had another story. I'm sorry, I jumped around a little bit, Ken. It's all kind of
jumbled on
mashed on my screen over here. He said, I've actually had to banish an angel because he was very angry that a church I had to close down and became a private residence. Do not be deceived by angelic entities. And you mentioned that closing it down had nothing to do with it closing. So, in occult circles, and we talked about this when we talked to you about demons, that angels are considered in occult circles to be more difficult to work with than demons. And this is referring to things like Solomonic magic. We're talking about evoking an angel, perhaps in a either like a circle or some sort of like a triangle or that kind of thing, going back to that sort of Solomonic magic, right? The angels, which all have sigils like demons, oftentimes are more harder to work with. So I wanted to bring up a couple other things here.
Hey, Maria and Barbara Colbert.
Oh, one sec. Okay, yeah, that's speaking of demons, the Infernal Dictionary. So here you see a lot of different hybrid like animals with different faces, right? This was first published, I'll just read this to you real fast, in 1818, divided into 2 volumes, 6 reprints. But the artwork's pretty famous. And you can see here that many of these.
That's the one. That's not one. It's Osmodeus, right? The one with the 4 faces.
That's Asmodeus
Yes.
there, I believe.
That looks like one of the angels from in the book of Ezekiel.
Right, right. Very similar. Very similar. And again, biblically, if we're talking about fallen angels, we're talking about the same creature.
Right. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Joshua, you came across an angel. Ken, when you banished that angel, what was your impression? What did it look like to you? Let us know in the comments. If you've had any kind of angelic experience, would love to hear about it, good or bad. Anne-Marie Young says, I think angels are not human. It's more of an energy with a pecking order, same as demons. Okay. Right. That's kind of what we're saying. Dionysus had said there were 9 orders, and he wrote that a long time ago. The church tends to believe that. A lot of theologians follow that. And then you see, the same thing in those goetic demons that I showed you just now, those kind of hybrid looking demons. They also are like, the general of the 7 legions of hell and that kind of thing. They get these kind of titles, so there's a pecking order there for sure.
Ken.
Can you repeat the question? I was pouring a Coca-Cola. Okay, Ken, I was asking you that angel that you banished, you had to, that was pissed off. What was your psychic impression of it? Do you have an idea of what it looked like? That was my question. Visually, what did you see there? And for those of you who don't know, Ken's a great friend of ours, and he's an occultist. He works with paranormal teams, does investigations, but he takes things from an occult perspective. And I love that about him, which is a really cool thing. I'm glad that's he's out there doing that. Joshua says it looked like an all-loving being, and I know it sounds cliche, but it did have wings.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
That's
there
really
you go.
Cool. Barbara Cole Brown asked, do you think angels need portals to enter our realm? And that is an excellent question. That's
an excellent question. Yeah, it really is. Or can they just show up? And the idea of the Solomonic magic, you're sort of containing that said angel, right? You're trying to bring it about, give it a place, using things like sigils and words, usually words of God, Adonai and things of that nature, to command and control it, which would explain why it might be pissed off. Would prayer open a portal? Well, I think it may well do that, and a lot of people say that. And if you pray to the certain angels or particular angels, you may get that response. There's certainly lots of books that state exactly that. And you think about it, prayer is just putting your intents, which is what magic and is all about, and spell work is just a focus of intents. So is there that would happen? Yeah, I think that absolutely could happen. Ken says, I had to employ Orbas, which is a demon, to help me. He appeared as a ball of blackness. Imagine, I firmly believe he appeared that way because he was angry at what I did, and he was angry that I enjoyed a demon to banish him. Well, yep, I would bet that would piss him off.
It would.
So again, a lot of different perspectives here, right? It's interesting to see how that could work. So employed. Oh, not just enjoyed. Well, you probably enjoyed employing.
Yeah.
You enjoyed the employ of the demon to banish the angel, and that worked, which is a very interesting story, and definitely not the point of view that the church would like to maintain, right? So I think they could be just different things, and we can't really wrap our heads around them. Like somebody mentioned, maybe they appear a certain way just to, help us understand what they are, to not scare us. Do you guys think that maybe plays into like the paranormal even? People see an apparition or they see something scary like a shadow figure,
Really.
right?
This is-
Joshua says, not an angel, but it's dark or angry. Well, it apparently identified itself as such, but changed its appearance because it didn't care anymore. So let's take the time travel here and look at a few other pictures. Oh, yeah, this one, Queen of the Night. I like this.
Oh, yeah.
So this is often, I think, misrepresented as Lilith, but it is a Mesopotamian goddess. It could be Ishtar. Nobody's totally sure. Goddess of sexual love or war, or perhaps Ishtar's sister and rival, the goddess, not even going to attempt to pronounce her name, who ruled the underworld. The goddess was originally painted red, so there's some red. And you see there, besides having the wings, she has tools in her hand, and she has horned feet, and there are animals around her, right? There's 2 owls, and I don't know what those are, jackals.
She's got claw feet.
She has claw feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, like a bird.
Mm-hmm. Just it represents also a bunch of stuff in Egypt. So what we're saying is there's a lot of correlations from the cradle of civilization is what they call it now, all the way down to now.
Right. This idea of wings.
Yeah.
And again, wings weren't in the First Testament. But there you see it. You see it in the artwork that predated the Bible. Look at a few others here. Take a look at that. I showed that guy already. Did we look at that already?
I don't know. That's insane. That thing. That's just this stuff is crazy.
Oh, there's someone we didn't look at. The Assyrian, did we look at him?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Just getting us together.
80,000 tabs open.
Yeah, way too many tabs. Way too many tabs for St. Patrick's Day.
Joshua Dixon said she's ready to fly, but firmly planted.
All right.
That's
right.
Excellent.
Yes. That is a good observation.
Yes.
No. Now, let me bring this one up. We'll look at a few different pictures because there are a few we wanted to share. This one is pretty cool. There with the wheels, and you see the many wings. And this is taken, literally. If you look at that, and that's what a head could possibly look like. Oh yeah, right. There,
That's one of them. Yes.
like what is that? But it's not far off from the Infernal Dictionary at all. Not at all. So stop sharing.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that, especially that picture?
And there's Steve Auclair, our buddy.
Hi, Steve.
And he was just on our show last week. That was last Thursday, right?
It was.
I hope you're drinking the green beers, Bob.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we just like to get your thoughts, and we wanted to call this Angel Week. We thought it'd be interesting to show those, if you weren't familiar with them, that these angels could appear, or at least are described in the Bible as something that seems, extraordinary, and get your mind thinking like, what is this creature? And this, could it be an alien? I'm not saying it's aliens, but yeah, maybe it is. What about these hybrids? These walking cats that dress themselves. Hey, could happen, right? It seems to happen. It seems to happen historically through ancient art. If you go back to that Mesopotamian art, and you'll see, things like horses, the centaur-like creatures. Certainly, Greek mythology is full of these things.
Yeah.
It's all there, right? So all this predates the biblical writings, which get even a little bit stranger. Yet so many people talk about experiences with angels. Again, our guest on Saturday actually paints them. They're beautiful paintings. They don't look anything like, the more or less horrifying wheels with eyeballs on them that we were just showing. And we're going to talk to her about that and how that plays into her psychic abilities. I believe she also is an NDE. And Joshua, that's a pretty much a near-death experience there as well. So that's fascinating that you would see that. And
Herb's with them too.
oh yeah, am I still
He
sharing the
said
screen?
her. Yeah, no, this is different.
Okay, there's a little delay
It
there.
says it's like a 5-minute delay on YouTube. So
Yeah.
each face represents something different.
Exactly.
It
And
says,
they do. They represent
do.
aspects of things. They represent animals, domesticated animals, humans, and
the lion
birds,
was for
which-
strength, and the bird was for all birds, and
I find fascinating. And these things must have been important to the cultures at the time, animal domestication.
And Joshua Dixon just said, he says, I've heard of human-animal metamorphosis.
Barbara says, I can just visualize a Picasso caveman making all this stuff up on a cave wall. Well, some of that cave art painting is actually really good, right? For the time, and it's super old. Steve says, a lot of people believe in mechanical angels, machines. What say? Well, like mechanical elves, Steve? That's the DMT story, is that people see these mechanical elves. And I can't say I've seen mechanical elves myself, but I have heard the story repeatedly from different people.
I just wanted to
Brent
let you
asked
know.
us, I'm sorry,
No, go
says,
ahead.
where are you guys located? We're in New England, Brent.
I'm typing them now.
And
Yeah, that Rupert Sheldrake. Rupert Sheldrake. Oh my God. Rupert, I think I'd be drinking. Sheldrake. He was best friends with Terrence McKenna. If anybody knows who that is.
He used to hang out a lot together. You can find videos of YouTube with Terrence and Rupert hanging out. Rupert is like super brilliant.
Wicked.
There's an interview with him and Graham Hancock.
Oh my God, yeah.
That came out recently, like maybe a month ago. And it's got like a gazillion views. Highly recommend it. If any of that panpsychism is fascinating to you, the idea of material science having limitations and that there might be something more there, I totally recommend that you go and check it out. Yeah, we're from New England. And Anne Marie says, I have felt them also during an NDE. Told me not my time. Yeah, I think I remember you telling us this, Anne, I believe. Not my time. Felt them when we thought my dad was dying, told me not his time. It wasn't then, but when he did die, I heard it's his time. So interesting. The whole clairaudient experience is interesting. Kristen gets more of them than I do, but I've had them as well. Had one in a hospital, just say my name, like Chris, like right in my ear, like where I could
he was
feel a
freaking out.
face, like it was right next to me talking in my ear, and there was nobody around me at all, like not at all, just no way.
It was in the hallway.
Yeah, but it was empty. It was nobody there. I was waiting for a room. We had the experience in Spider Gates where we both heard somebody yell, and I know I told the story recently, so I hate retelling it, but she had our recorder out with the headphones, and everything that she's hearing is coming through that recorder. And we both heard a voice say hello, very loudly, enough to make us both jump in the air and like who is that? And look around, and there was nobody there. I guess that would be a clairaudient experience.
I guess so. Hello, Miss Gail.
Hey, Gail. Gail says, happy St. Patrick's Day hugs. Love you guys. We love you too. And hope you're doing well. We got to catch up, Gail.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She's from a small, medium at large.
Small, medium at large
podcast.
podcast.
She just had Ellie on, who was on our show last
That's right.
So you guys
if you enjoyed our show with Ellie, Alina, do check out Small, Medium, at Large. Gail just had Ellie on there, and he has a whole bunch of great guests.
Oh gosh, yes.
You know, Russell Targ, awesome people. So, yep, that's fantastic. And I see our internet is getting a little strange. But we definitely need to catch up. Joshua says, I think Kristen Johnson is very psychic, or they attracted to her personality. Well, I would have to agree with you, Joshua.
Okay, thank you.
She is a little psychic.
They're attracted to my personality as well.
Yeah. She's been haunted her whole life.
I have.
She has.
None
And that
of
is our
on
story.
either. It's
No.
actually just
No, it's not all
surprising.
glorious.
No.
But
I do not like shadow figures, and I, for some reason, cannot watch The Nun. I can't even see the movie The Nun. I can't even see the picture. I freak out.
the face,
so it
right?
has
The
to do
face
something
reminds
with
you
that.
of the shadow figures you saw as a child.
Plus,
And if
whatever,
those you
but-
don't know, if you're new to the show, I'll throw this out real quick. Like, our story is this: like, we both had haunted childhoods, and as have almost all our guests, which just seems to be an interesting statistic. And in Kristen's case, it was pretty traumatizing. She was pushed down a flight of stairs. When we started dating years back,
I was 7 at the
she
time. My
we
mom.
weren't 7 when we were dating.
No. When I was pushed on the
For
stairs,
God's
they're
sakes, we've been
your
together a
fault.
long time. No, she didn't want anything to do with the paranormal, where I'd already been into it. I've been in teams, that kind of stuff. And I was kind of like gave it up because of it, and it kind of died down. Well, okay, she didn't like this stuff because it actually scared her.
It does scare me.
But
And
she happens to live in a haunted residence, or at least be a haunted person, for sure, as we both are. And activity grew, and we did some spirit box work and
Yeah.
trying to gather electronic voice phenomena, and did really easily. And now she's like the first person to want to play the data back.
It took me 3 weeks to listen to that data. That's how bad it was.
Joshua asked how we met.
God, this is really bizarre.
Oh, we have entire shows on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've crossed paths like our whole lives. We grew up a town away from each other.
Both our parents were antique dealers. So
Both of our parents are in the same business. They're antique dealers. Interesting to note, her parents had an antique shop over in Rehoboth, over by Anawan Rock, which is a known haunted location. It was the giant rock that marks the end of King Philip's War, and she used to play there. We're both only children growing up, and we'd have a lot of time on our hands. And it's a good chance we crossed paths there through that work, going to flea markets and shows, and going, as far as we mentioned Wellfleet, but you guys don't know, it's kind of a long way in Brimfield. Yeah, these are like hours of driving to get to, but we've both been there likely at the same times.
We met, and he dated my best friend.
I dated one of her friends in high school.
And he remembers, what did you say?
I remember that what you were wearing when I met you. You had a bright red,
black
red sweater
skirt.
Yeah, on, and I was like, I think I'm dating the wrong girl.
Yeah, sweet.
Sorry,
but
we kind of true.
Kind of went to parties and stuff, and different towns, different places, and it just wasn't meant to be yet, basically.
Right. Later on, I would go on to play in different bands.
Oh my God.
And she was, with her beau at the time, and really liked my bands apparently, and would show up at my shows and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of history there, Joshua. So beautiful. So happy you became a couple. Yes. Well, thank you very much.
You. And yes, I totally understand. It scares the hell out of me too sometimes. Still,
it's weird how life has those synchronicities.
Yeah. That's what we call it, synchronicities.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We have quite a few, and that is kind of our story. I got Kristen into the paranormal, who just didn't want to do it and really loves it now. And
now he calls me a haunted bag of squirrels. So here you
go. Right. It has more to do with attention span than
I do
than anything paranormal. but
I love
thank
my
you.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I just want to do everything all at once.
All right, I'm going to show you, just give you a sneak peek at Susan's artwork real quick, and I think we're going to wrap things up. This is going to be a short St. Patty's for us, but let me see. Do check this out. This is our guest on Saturday for Bigfoot and the Bunny. Finder tab. Guardian angel portraits. So these are the art, her artwork. And like I said, she also does readings and like, what does the angels have to say to you? Guardian angel portraits, angel greeting cards. She will paint you an angel if you're so inclined to this. Oh, I went the wrong way.
They're beautiful.
They are.
Absolutely
they really
beautiful. My goodness.
are. And you get an idea where she's coming from with that. She also does dollars. She'll do original artwork for you. Paint your angel. And
It's amazing.
yeah, actually pretty reasonable considering what you're getting there. It's Susan Walter, and she will be on Saturday. So stick around for that. We're gonna sign off. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks,
Thank you.
Joshua, Anne-Marie, Steve, everybody else that has joined today.
Herb, Anne-Marie Young.
Yeah, Herb.
Barbara, Ken, Joshua.
Yeah, Ken Allen,
Joshua Dixon, definitely. Barbara Cole. Yep.
Brent,
Gail.
and Gail. Yes, absolutely.
If we missed anybody, I'm very sorry.
Who is coming on our show next month?
Yeah,
And,
she is. I cannot
really psyched about it.
wait.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Super interesting.
Thank you,
stuff.
Joshua. He says we have the most professional studio. We really don't.
Well, we just
If
make
you
it
saw
look,
our shit show.
but it is a real background.
Yeah.
You know, some people
Yeah.
have asked us that. Like, is that real? Like, is a picture? Or
If
something?
you saw the shit show of last week when we had Steve Claire in the studio, yeah, that was like the worst like angle ever. So we need to
Nice
get better with
camera.
that.
Chris
so.
didn't like how she looked
No.
on her.
But yeah, we
camera.
got all kinds of goodies and stuff. So thank
But
you.
it's all real, and yeah, we really do this stuff. So thank you so much for joining, and we will see you Saturday. We'll be on at 4:00 Eastern with Bigfoot and the Bunny.
Yep.
Have a great night. Happy St. Patrick's.
Bye.